What you see before you today is the result of a very literal joke, a very physical bit of comedy, I suppose, that the Trump campaign decided to undertake, right? With all this talk about garbage, what if Trump becomes a garbage man? Could go, like, are we just doing Undercover Boss now? That's not his show. That's not his show. That's literally not his show. He was on The Apprentice, which is different. Like The Apprentice, like he like Trump. He's like he's stooping. He's stooping, right? He's the boss in The Apprentice that says you're fired. Now he's doing the dirty jobs of the undercover boss, which is pretty cringe in its own right. And well, here he goes. He's already done Fry Cook, and now he's gonna do Garbage Man. Why? Because one of his supporters, a guy named Tony Hinchcliffe, at his Madison Square Garden rally, called the island of Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. This is after weeks of Trump saying that the United States of America is a garbage can for other countries, and that, you know, accepting immigrants is like letting other countries use you as their garbage can. He's definitely said similar stuff about like cities like Detroit and Milwaukee. He's talked a lot of shit. He's talked a lot of trash. Let's just put it that way. And so now he's going to make this joke into a physical embodiment of the joke by LARPing as the garbage man. Yeah, just to show you that he's down to earth. He doesn't think lesser of you, no matter what job you have, even though he is the millionaire, the fake billionaire from The Apprentice, right? And that, you know, he doesn't have soft hands, which he does. He does. Everybody knows that Trump has soft hands. He has the softest of soft hands. At least Kamala Harris can point to actually having done jobs like McDonald's in the past. With Trump, it is literally just a LARP. So let's see how he handles it, right? So look, this is easy, Donald. This is easy, okay? All you got to do is open the door, step up like a big boy, and get into the garbage truck, and then you can honk the horn, and everybody will think you're a big man. That's all you got to do. Let's see. Do you think he can do it, chat? One in chat if you think he can do it. Do you think he will be successful? Will he be successful in his endeavor? It's not that hard. It's easy. Let's see what he does. Nathan Drake, I predict you will not be back for the Anadrama. I predict that you will come back and be like, when is the Anadrama going to be? And it'll already be over, but that's okay. Here we go. So what are we doing? Pressing play. I want to get everybody's votes. Some people think that he might not be successful. It's easy, though. How could he fail? 0. How could he fail? It's such an easy task to accomplish. All he's got to do is step up on the garbage truck, get in the cab, and honk that horn like a big boy. It's so, like a kid could do this, right? Like a little kid could do this. There's no way that he fucks this up, right? It's impossible. We'll see how this goes. All right, are we at the very beginning? Here we go. Oh, wait. Let's try it again. Oh, what? Now, chat, that I didn't expect. That's not an issue of his ambulation, right? That's not an issue of him, like, trying to walk, which he has had trouble lately sort of picking up his feet as he walks, right? That's depth perception. Like, he thought he was at the truck. He wasn't at the truck. He grabs for the handle. He thinks he's gonna get it, but instead we get this. Oh, 2 times. Oh, 3 times? Can we get it? Oh, there we go. We got it. It's good, chat. It's good. It's all good now. It's all good. There was a little problem, 2 problems actually. of him grabbing the handle. But now that he's got the handle, it's all uphill from here. It's all easy from here, right? Just gotta jump up into the cab and honk that horn. All right, let's go. Wait, did we miss something? Is there... I hate that they got this, I should have clicked on this one. This is Forbes breaking news. The Chiron is right in front of his legs. And I feel like we're gonna miss something. Do we have to go into Twitter for this? I almost typed in twump. I just want to see this in all of its glory. Here we go. We got one. All right, let's check this once again. It's the same thing. It's Forbes. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I know I've seen a version of this. Here we go. Is this going to be it? All right, so we're actually kind of concentrating here on his legs. Look at that. Look at what's going on with his legs. You see that? All right, so that's what we're kind of missing from the Forbes. Anyway, let's get back to we can use this for the rest of it. All right, so now he's good, right? Up, get up there. Oh, he can't, almost can't make it.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Full camera.
Right here, keep commenting. Nice.
There he is. He made it.
Any questions?
You just had one, sir, and I guess you're not going to answer it?
I can't. Yeah.
RFK Jr. said you promised him control of the health agencies. Yeah, what did they say? What did RFK Jr. say? I'm trying to remember the specific health agencies. Was it the FDA, maybe? Can you imagine that? RFK, and yeah, it was just his dance moves, right?
RFK Jr. said that you promised him control of public health agencies if you were to win. Is that accurate?
Well, we'll work with him, and he's a very talented guy. He wants women's health. He wants health for people. And we're going to work with him. He's a very, very talented guy. He's a friend.
Very talented guy, right? As a personal trainer. He recommends the good supplements, chat. Can you imagine the RFK Jr. My Plate? I feel like we need to do that. I feel like we need to reorganize like the public health information for like, you know, for like My Plate and stuff like that, right? The way that is it the USDA that recommends like, you know, the portions and stuff? Like the RFK is going to be like, I don't know, 3/4 of your plate is going to be supplements. 1/6 of your plate will be bone broth. We're going to have some wild game in there, some parasites, you know, make sure you're eating your parasites.
I think the Democrats have done a very poor job. We're leading in every state. We're leading.
I thought he was going to say every poll.
Big, and I think that
I mean, I'm sure you can find a poll that shows him leading in every state. That's not most polls, but
by really both of them.
he's probably picking and choosing. He's cherry picking his polls.
Really two of them.
In fact, they're probably the polls that they're showing him are probably cherry picked at this point. Yeah, he wants women's health. That's right, Mozart.
About being garbage, maybe 250 million people. They shouldn't be talking. That's like deplorable for Hillary. This is the deplorable for Hillary.
Is this the deplorable for Hillary, Donald? Or are you the Dukakis gets in a tank? Because that's kind of what this feels like here. Somebody sitting in a vehicle that he in no way belongs in, and trying to puff himself up as something that he's not, which is a working person. That's something he has never been his entire life.
And I think this is worse, actually. For Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
You said the other day that the military could be used, that the military or the National Guard could be used on election day if necessary. Can you explain what you mean by that in the details?
I don't think they'll have to be used. I think we're going to have a big victory. And I think...
I don't think they'll have to be used, just to let you... Oh, I feel so much better. So as long as he wins, they won't have to use the military on us.
People in this country are going to be very happy because we're going to bring the country back. We're a nation in decline, very, very serious decline, and we're going to bring our country back.
Did you know that Elon Musk was in close contact with President Putin? Did you know about this? Did you know about Elon Musk calls and close communication
No, I
with
don't know.
President?
Elon is a great guy. He's one of our geniuses, and we have to protect our geniuses. We have to take care of our
Mr.
geniuses.
President, there's a
There
report
aren't
that
too
you...
many of them. Yes.
He's one of our oligarchs. That's what he is. Yeah, chat. The amount of money that I think like the top 3 billionaires have now is like comparable to the rest of the country. We are living through another Gilded Age, and we've got some very incompetent, not very smart people with way too much power. Like Elon Musk has way too much influence over our space program, over satellites, over important stuff. Bezos has too much influence over, delivery, over newspapers.
I love Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico loves me. I don't know anything about a comedian. I love Puerto
I don't know anything about the comedian. Was there a comedian? Did we have a comedian? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about this. Wait, did somebody call Puerto Rico an island of garbage? No, I love Puerto Rico. Remember when I went there and threw paper towels at the Puerto Ricans? Remember that? That was cool.
Rico. Nobody's done more for Puerto Rico than me. I took care of them when they had the big hurricanes, and nobody gets along better with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people than me. They love me and I love them. Go ahead.
Oh my god, so the perfect follow-up question, which we're not going to get because we live in hell and the news media sucks. The perfect follow-up question is then why did you deny them hurricane relief? Why did you deny Puerto Rico? Why did you block hurricane relief for Puerto Rico if you feel this way towards the Puerto Rican people? Right? You know the thing that you accused Biden and Kamala of doing in Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, all the southeastern states that were hit by the recent hurricanes? Yeah, you did that to Puerto Rico. Why? Do you have an explanation? If you're such a fan of the Puerto Rican people, then why did you do that? So a much younger, more vibrant Donald Trump comes to Puerto Rico in order to throw paper towels as if to say, just use this to dry up your homes, right? To absorb the water from the hurricane with the paper towels. There we go. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
What do I want? I don't know anything about the comedian. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. I heard he made a statement, but it was just a statement that he made. He's a comedian. What can I tell you? I know nothing about him. I don't know why he's there. You put comedians up, and I guess he went on earlier in the show. I don't know who he is.
Did you think that joke was campaign with you? Is Steve Bannon going to campaign with you now that he's out of prison?
I don't know, but I think he's a terrific guy. I think he was
Terrific guy.
treated very unfairly.
He's going to be back in the next cabinet if he gets elected. You can count on it. Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, all the people that Trump fired because they were too extreme, they will be replacing the people that he fired because they told him that they would not accept unconstitutional orders like shooting at protesters.
Cheating. Could you imagine any circumstances under which you would be defeated but not say that the election was stolen?
If it was a corrupt election, that could happen. But so far, we're doing pretty well.
That's the opposite question as to what he asked you.
In Pennsylvania, as you know, and I think they've been corrupted and taken care of. They were corrupt. They were corrupted, but I think it's been taken care of.
On that
Now that
subject,
the lawsuits have been
you called for law enforcement to investigate.
I was going to say, do you anticipate to declare victory on election night?
I hope that we're going to declare a victory. I mean, they spend all that money on machines. Paper ballots cost you 8% of what a machine
Because
costs.
it was
8%.
so peaceful up here,
And
but now
it's
they're a
encrypted
freaking
paper,
communist
it's
invading
watermarked paper,
radicals.
it's very secure. Your elections would be over at 10 o'clock, and that's when you could announce something and there would be no question. And we're not talking about more money, we're talking about a tiny fraction of the money. You want paper, ideally, you want one-day voting, and I think it's just very important. You have to have the country and you have to have voter ID, and you have a great election.
So yeah, we make the election as hard as we possibly can. We eliminate early voting. We eliminate mail-in voting. I mean, this is what he asked for in 2020. Now, he knows enough now to realize that probably hurt him when he came out and he said, this mail-in voting is terrible, right? It got it so that his supporters didn't want to vote by mail. They didn't want to vote early, right? So the easier methods of voting, especially for somebody that is working on election day, as most Americans are, he discouraged his supporters from doing. Now he's not making that mistake again. And looking at the early voting data, it's not quite as much of a disparity. The whole phenomenon of the red mirage, which was what allowed him to claim victory despite having lost the last election, is a little bit less likely to happen, although it still could. Right? It's any time that you can get a situation where he's ahead at first, right? Because the first votes that they were counting are votes that got made that day, and then when they start counting the mail-in votes, it's like, it changes, right? Then he's like, oh wow, it changed overnight. Oh, that's pretty suspicious, right? Anything that he can do, and he's already laid the seeds for this. He's already laid the seeds for disputing specifically the Pennsylvania numbers. And so, and from his answers to the reporters on this garbage truck, it looks like we're ready for another long and arduous period of time between Election Day and January 20th, in which this guy will try to do everything that he can to steal the election.
About 8% of the cost. It's like very sad when you get machines, you pay all that money, and they talk about 3 days later. I think we're going to have a big enough victory to maybe have it that night. You should always have it, every night. If you look at France, 38 million votes. At 10 o'clock in the evening, it was over. All paper ballots, all voter ID, one-day voting, and it was over. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
President Trump, you asked for law enforcement to investigate. Will you accept the result if you lose?
Well, I guess they had quite a few ballots, 2,600 ballots where the same person signed.
But if they find no evidence of cheating, will you accept the results?
Of Pennsylvania, sure. Oh, if they find no evidence of cheating anywhere, I'll accept the results. I hope that's going to be the case. Win, lose, or draw, I hope that's going to be the case.
Sir, in Bucks County.
Now, listen, I have to do something.
It's wild that, given that even if that kind of answer is not his reflex, it's definitely what his campaign staff is telling him to say. But it's wild that his first reaction is the same kind of deal of like, well, of course, if it's not, if it's a dirty election. This is the one thing. This is the one thing that is most likely to get in the way of a possible Trump victory, is his inability to admit that he lost in 2020 and move past it. His inability to get out of his own personal grievance. This is what Kamala hits him on.
But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
Is that, like, if he gets in there, he's going to be worried about his enemies list and his problems, right? If she gets in there, she's going to be worried about your problems. We do have it looks like another, okay, so C-SPAN did it without the Chiron. Let's see the beginning of this again.
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that.
He's overcounting his support, too. All right, so here it is again. Oh, oh, oh. Grab, fail, slip. Oop. He almost ate shit. Anyway, that's the view without the Chiron, in case you were wondering what that looks like. What do we have? We also have Donald Trump at his rally.
Of course, I thought irredeemable when she said deplorable garbage. So this outfit, you know, is. Thank you very much. So this outfit, you know, is.
Actually, you know what? I better play this one instead. I don't know about this news outlet. Sometimes you get copyright claimed for these things. It's probably smarter to do.
So this outfit, you know, is when he called us all garbage. How stupid! What a stupid word.
He called us all garbage, folks.
That blows deplorable away, don't you think?
Not really, because here's the thing about deplorable. That's a word that an effete, out of touch elitist would say, right? That's the word that somebody clutching her pearls would say, right? There's a reason that hurt Hillary as much as it did, and it's because it reinforces a perception of Hillary that people already kind of think. So because of that, you know, it was very damaging for Hillary. Whereas Joe Biden, grandpa, who you can't even take seriously anyway, because like, you know, just like we saw in the debate, he doesn't know what he's saying half the time. We don't know what he's saying, right? He's just kind of mumbling, right? So there's a lot less of a impact from Joe Biden. It's almost like Donald Trump wants people to get confused and think, did Kamala say garbage?
Of course, I thought irredeemable when she said deplorable or irredeemable. I thought irredeemable was actually worse, but deplorable seemed to catch on. But this garbage stuff blows it away. So I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. I have a wonderful suit on. And one of my people came in and said, "Sir, you know, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now out there. The hottest thing out there, sir."
You can see how competent his campaign staff is.
Would you like to drive a garbage truck?
Would you like to use an absurd amount of money on a gross physical joke of like, oh, you said garbage? Well, look at this. I'm in the garbage truck. Toot toot.
We had to do this pretty quick. I said, sort of cool, though.
Don't we also have him in a fire truck at some point, tooting the horn?
Because, you know. And I said, you know, I think that's okay, but, you know, I don't feel comfortable wearing a suit. And they pulled up this garbage truck. I don't know how the hell they did it so fast. I have very capable people. They put a big sign on the truck. Did you see it? I think they showed it to you.
Yeah, they actually, what they did was they reskinned Forgiato Blow's Trump truck. That's what that was.
And then they said, "Sir, we have a vest." I said, "Well, should I leave my suit on and put it over the vest?" But that doesn't look very good, right? That doesn't look good. So I said, "All right, look, let me take it off." And then I actually said, I climbed into the truck, but so I said, "How the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one." This was a beauty. I said, you didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big? They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know who that is? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all what? Look at all the fake news. They were, most of them. No, most of them, many of them were there. And I'm saying, oh, boy, you know, one little mistake with these guys and your political career's over. You can't even. So I said, man, if I don't get up,
See,
this is going to be very embarrassing.
that's not true. That's not true for him. Like, Trump has made so many mistakes. It's ridiculous that he would think that. This is the grab him by the pussies guy, right? He's made more than a few mistakes, and it literally doesn't matter because the bar is in hell. There is no standard for Donald Trump. As he said himself, he said he could literally shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it.
These stupid people, they'll say, he's cognitively and physically impaired. And I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So look, the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going and I made it. I made it. And then I gave a little news conference from the front of the.
Yeah, you made it. It only took you 3 grabs for the door handle.
They asked their wise guy questions and everything, and then we drove about 2 feet. I got out, got into the plane, and then I got in the car and I'm driving over here and I have this still on, and I come into the arena, and I say, "Where's my jacket? I want to get out of this stage." And they said, it would be unbelievable if you could wear it on stage. I said,
so much better, so much better.
and I said, no way. I got 25,000 people standing outside. I got all these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage. They said, oh, okay, sir. I said, get me my jacket. But if you did, you know, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, oh. And they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage.
You know, he's obviously joking about this, but there is going to be a little bit of finesse to which Trump's handlers manage him with, right? That is probably not entirely inaccurate in terms of the way that there's stories about this guy reading military briefings, right? You know, really important stuff that the president has to read, and he would you know, his eyes would glaze over, he would get bored, he would stop paying attention, and they had to have him you know, up to date on what was going on. So they would start to put his name into the paragraphs, right? Try to like mention his name, right? And when he saw his name, you know, he would read it. So there's like all kinds of skills for managing a diva like this.
When they said I look thinner, I said, in that case.
It's a directional truth, Chad. It's a directional truth, right? Obviously he's joking about this, but it's probably not too far off.
I may never wear a blue jacket again. I may go in this.
I mean, you better get used to wearing orange, Donald Trump. I foresee a lot of orange in your future.
That was the word. That was the key. Sir, you look thinner. So anyway, so we had a little.
You won't believe how much thinner you'll look in an orange jumpsuit.
Fun about a very serious subject. We had a little fun about a time where our country is not having a lot of fun because we're not doing well as a country, but we're going to be doing.
Wow, nice segue, Trump. That's like the. But not as bad as the top of the hour ad break. Am I right? This is his debate. He's got to do a debate so that he can get into his
And I guess you've been reading and seeing the news. It's big stuff. That's all.
All right, so we got what do we have? Got more of the speech.
Thank you.
We got more of the speech to watch.
And all of a sudden, it started to be perfect straight. I want to thank ICE. They're incredible people. We've been supported by the rank and file membership of the Teamsters, 62%. Think of that. By our beautiful and very brilliant Elon Musk. Do we love Elon?
It's weird to mention a union and an oligarch.
When that rocket ship came down last week, I said, oh, this is going to be terrible. It's going to crash. Look, oh, it's going to crash. It was coming down this way. And then those jets kicked in. The fire was pouring all over the place. I said, what's going on? And all of a sudden, it started to be perfect straight. Dropped down. Then those arms grabbed it like you grabbed your little baby, grabbed it. And I said, who the hell pulled off that? I thought it was a science fiction movie, actually. I called up Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, that was me. I said, that's why we love you, Elon. I said, can Russia do that? No, they can't. Can China do that? Nope, they can't. Can the U.S. do it other than you? No, they can't. I said, well, special guy, right? Special guy. Special guy.
Special guy, yeah. You're our special guy, Trump.
And we're endorsed also by a very brilliant and wonderful man, and it took a lot of courage for him to do this, as you.
Adolf Hitler, folks. No, just kidding. Let's get to that part though. I think he does bring up Hitler. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. There we go. Oh, geez. What? Oh my God, wait, I almost missed this. This is earlier. Wait a minute. How the hell?
Not garbage.
Not garbage. He's not garbage, and he's not fascist, despite what his cabinet members and generals say.
Kamala has been comparing her political opponents to the most.
Oh, that's so wild. Okay, so
evil mass murderers in history, and now speaking.
I thought he was really going to do the bait and switch and say that Kamala had been the one to say garbage.
For her campaign last night, crooked Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage.
Yeah, we'll find a way to blame Kamala for this.
No way.
For the wandering thoughts of an octogenarian.
They're a freaking communist invading radicals.
No way. And they actually mean it, even though, without question, my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lion Kamala.
So now
But now there are freaking
the clapback on this would be like, I don't think of human beings as garbage. I don't think of people as garbage. In fact, I don't judge my opponents, right?
But now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
I don't look down on people. I'm not an elitist, right? That would be the clapback, but he can't do it because he is an elitist, and he does look at people as garbage. He's like, no, my supporters are the ones that are good. Hers are the ones that are garbage. Kind of missing the point. Yeah, this is like, they set him up for an easy shot, and he can't quite. His ego's too big to take it. And also, like, let's be real. He's called so many people garbage already. There's no way that even he knows he can't get away with that.
My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. That's true.
And he loves all Americans, Chad, except the ones that are poisoning the blood of our country, and the ones that are the enemy within that we have to use the military on. That's
president if you hate the American people, which I believe they do. And Kamala Harris is not
No, yeah, January 6th was all about love. Don't forget.
to be president
It's all about love.
of the United States. In no way is she fit. She doesn't have the intellect, the stamina, or that special.
Yeah, that's right, Joyful Warrior. Trump loves America so much that he would send the military out to kill us if it weren't for the fact that they won't obey an unconstitutional order, right? It's kind of annoying. Don't worry though, he'll have better generals this time and he'll be able to shoot the protesters in the street like he always wanted to.
Quality that real leaders, people like Brett Favre have, they don't have it.
So I think he's in Wisconsin. Okay. That would be random otherwise. Wait, what was the deal with Brett Favre? Didn't he have a scandal though?
They don't have what he's got. Few people do, to be honest with you. Joe Biden's comments were the direct result of Kamala's decision to portray everyone who isn't voting for her, which is a lot of people, as evil and subhuman. And we know it's really what they believe, because look at how they've treated you. They treat you like garbage. They treat our whole country like garbage, with open borders, with
The country that you called a garbage can, that country, is that the country we're talking about?
all of the horrible things they've done to hurt our country, inflation that should have never happened, allowing Russia to go into Ukraine, October 7th in Israel. All of these things would have never happened if you had a different president.
Where were the soldiers on January 6th awaiting orders from a man who was sitting on the couch watching it on TV and enjoying seeing his supporters beat through Capitol Hill officers to get into the halls of Congress, enjoying hearing reports of his own vice president having his life threatened, to which Trump responded, "So what? Who cares?"
For the past 9 years,
It was only later that afternoon, after the pleas from multiple Trump family members, that Trump finally called off his hogs.
and her party have called us racists, bigots, fascists, deplorables, irredeemables, Nazis, and they called me Hitler.
Communist invading
They bullied you, they've demonized us, they've censored us, they've deplatformed us, and they weaponized the power of our own
God, is it just me or is he more orange?
government against all of us.
Do you see this? He's getting like he's got like a red to, it's like a red orange now.
They've taken your money, they've thrown open your borders to criminals and terrorists, they've flooded your towns with deadly drugs and death. They're incompetent people. They've given your jobs to illegal migrants and sent our blood and treasure to fight.
Yeah, all the jobs that you really wanted to do, you know, like how you always dreamed of working in agriculture, you know, that kind of stuff, or a meat packing facility. Those are those vital jobs that they've taken away, the jobs that no one else wants to do, but the jobs that nonetheless feed you every single day if you like eating vegetables, if you like eating meat.
In stupid foreign wars where the countries don't even know who we are and where we've never heard of the country.
That's right. You should have just surrendered Ukraine to Putin.
This Tuesday is your chance to stand up and declare you are not going to take it anymore.
Hey, I mean, if we're gonna do faux populism, we might as well throw in Howard Beale.
6 days from now, we can turn the page forever on this failed and corrupt administration. It's a corrupt administration, you do know that. We can declare once and for all that we are done with their hatred. We're done with their hysteria. We're done with their hoaxing, lying, cheating, scheming, plundering, and stealing. Oh, they steal.
I am not gonna hear this from the most corrupt fucking president that we've ever had. Somebody that literally let people who wanted to get something from the US government give money to his corrupt crime family. Right? I am not gonna hear somebody this from somebody who's a walking emoluments clause violation. That is wild. That is fucking wild. And yeah, we are going to turn the page. It's been much too long. For 8 years, we have had to deal with this joke of a political candidate who's only taken seriously because people saw him in a fucking reality show. Because Lord knows he never succeeded at any other enterprise he ever engaged in. His real estate, failure. His casino ownership, failure. Only thing he ever succeeded in, reality television, and, well, somehow that allows people to imagine him in an executive position, making good economic decisions. The thing that he didn't do in actual business, right? He got to do on television, and it's been too long, and it's too ridiculous that this shithead keeps coming back and back again. There is a portion of America that keeps on trying to shove this guy down the rest of our throats. And on November 5th, we're going to tell them, we're going to tell those, we're going to tell that ambling garbage heap of MAGA where they can shove him, right? Where the sun don't shine, of course, right? Because I don't want to hear anything else from him. I agree with Tucker Carlson in his appraisal of Donald Trump. I cannot wait to not have to give a fuck about him again. I cannot wait to not hear about him again. I cannot wait until he is a non-issue. The sooner that happens, the better. And that's literally what Tucker said in a text.
They steal. We're not going to let them divide and destroy America any longer. What we have built is the biggest, broadest, most incredible coalition and the greatest political movement in the history of our country. It's made up of hardworking men and women.
So chat, I've got another piece of video for a comparison. This is 7 years ago. I guess like 1 or 2 years into his term in office, right? Very different looking Trump. Let's see if he's a very different moving Trump. I just want to compare what we just saw.
Because it was so peaceful up here, but now there are freaking communist invading radicals.
Oh, I just want to compare what we just saw to what we're, you know. All right. Oh God, really? Come on. Wow. Wow, look at that cut. Look at that cut. I thought we were going to get to see something. I mean, we are going to see him toot the horn. Here we go, toot the horn. Toot the horn like a big boy. Now somebody change his diaper. All right, well, I thought we might be able to compare something there. We do have, what is Tim Walz?
Think about how joyful it will be when we beat this guy and you turn on your TV or the news or open the newspaper and we don't have to hear from him or see him again on this.
That's what I'm talking about.
5 days. 5 days to 5 days to turn the page on this guy and to elect a new generation of leadership. Under Kamala Harris, Pennsylvania created over 560,000 jobs, including 28,000 manufacturing jobs. Those are facts. And she sat on the mall the other day.
Underscore by super chatted $6. Your audio is out of sync by around 1 second. It's odd.
Try reloading. Anybody else experiencing audio desync? That's usually an issue with that's usually an issue on your end, but I'm trying to think of what else it could possibly be. Anybody else hearing that?
About. Here's a couple examples of price gouging. We got a hurricane coming. They're telling you to get the heck out of Florida, and airline tickets went through the roof. Yes. That's not capitalism. That's not free market. That's unethical taking care of. That's price gouging, just so you know. And, oh, grocery prices are up. Well, guess what? Our farmers, my farmers in Minnesota, when grocery prices were lower, they were getting about $4 a bushel for corn. Now grocery prices are really high, and farmers are getting about $4 a bushel for corn. You get it. That's price gouging. 37 states, Democrats and Republicans have laws in that. She'll do that. And then we'll focus the tax cuts on the middle class. 100 million Americans get a tax cut. The single best tax cut that you make that reduces childhood poverty at a rate unseen is a child tax credit. We propose $6,000 for the first year of that child's life to Americans. And when it comes to health care and Medicare prices and finally getting a handle on this, capping insulin at $35, and just so you know why that's such a big deal, buying insulin is not like buying a new pair of shoes. If you don't get it, you die. And we know there's cases, because it happened in Minnesota. A young man aged out of his parents' insurance. He started rationing his insulin, and he died of insulin shock. The issue is that when you cap it at $35, they were charging $800 before that. It cost $5 to make it. They're still going to do just fine in the pharmaceutical industry. Trust me, they're going to be just fine. Now, Kamala also proposed this. Medicare, young people in here, you're not thinking straight. If you're pretty young, you're like thinking about it. If you're 60, you think about Medicare like half the day because you're wondering about it. Because you're like, I got to know I'm going to pay my bills. Some of you know how this works. Well, Medicare is incredible, along with Social Security, anti-poverty program, but we can make it better. And she proposed having Medicare pay for home health care services so you can stay in your home. Smart. Couple that, and I think until I got to, some of you don't know this, Medicare does not pay for your glasses or your hearing aids. We propose making sure that's part of it so you can live a fuller life. And to some of the younger folks in here, we need to make home ownership more affordable to you by making sure that you have down payment assistance. And let's be very clear. Senator Vance, a few weeks back, when asked about why homes are so expensive, he said because the immigrants are all buying them. And you and I are all thinking, well, where the hell are they getting the money? Because I don't have it. You know, how is this working out? The real reason is speculators like him and folks that are venture capitalists buy up all the homes, jack up the prices, and make it more difficult for us to get in. Kamala's talking about building 3 million more new homes, having $25,000 down payment assistance. And then...
Okay, so that's one thing we weren't hearing from Trump, which is real solutions, right? We all know shit's fucked up. We all know it's really tough right now. Just trying to buy groceries, just trying to pay your rent, just trying to do a lot of things, right? You don't really hear a lot from Trump as far as what he's going to do about it, just that, like, it sucks right now. Let's see what he said about the garbage truck thing here.
So look, it's a plan. We're damn proud of it. It's not a damn concept of a plan. It's real, and it's out there. Now, I've misspoken and said they don't have a plan or a concept of a plan. They do have a plan.
Yeah, Project 2025.
And it's 900 pages. It's 900 pages. Those folks in here, I said, well, they pretend we don't know anything about it. They took the time to research.
Megastar says the vest is bringing out his natural orange.
Senator Vance wrote the foreword of the book, and the guy who's the architect of it. I had never written a foreword to somebody's book, but I think I'd remember it if I did. You know? But oh no, they're a little dodgy. Here's what I know as a football coach. You take the time.
Does he talk about specifics, Rip Haven? Can you find me an example of Trump talking about specifics, right?
You're going to run the plays. And this playbook is a goddamn nightmare for the middle class.
Oh my god, drill baby drill. That's all you got, Rip Haven. I'm sorry, but somebody natural gaslighted you. Somebody blew natural gas up your ass if you think that. There's been a gas leak, chat, in Twitch chat. Apparently Rip Haven is our first victim.
The Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, costing hundreds of thousands of new jobs. Brad just talked about this. Included in there were things like the hydrogen hub that's going to create tens of thousands of new jobs for Boilermakers right here in Pennsylvania.
Oh, but we don't like hydrogen, do we?
When Senator Vance got asked and said in Lansing, Michigan, that act created 625 UAW jobs in Lansing, Michigan. They talk about taking that back, and he said that is table scraps. Well, you tell those 625 United Auto workers that put food on their table with those jobs that that's table scraps. That's what their plan is. He also is talking about putting a national sales tax on everything, things to buy every clothes.
It's a wild thing to say, like, right? It's like, you know, like no tax on tips sounds good. Now, if you get down to the specifics, right? And this is what I'm talking about, Rip Haven. You got to look at the fine print. I take it you're not the kind of person, though, that is used to looking at the fine print. You're used to believing stuff and getting conned, and that's why you're a Trump fan. It makes sense. It makes sense, right? But if you look at the fine print of Donald Trump's plan on the no tax on tips, there's nothing in there to stop a hedge fund manager, very wealthy person, for declaring their income to be a tip and thus avoiding taxes on their, you know, $100,000 or $1 million income, right? So there's a loophole right in there for rich people who is that, yeah, that's Trump's real constituency, right? The difference between Kamala's no tax on tips and Trump's no tax on tips is that hers actually stops that from happening. It's actually for like the hospitality industry. It's actually for actual workers, and it's specifically not for hedge fund managers. And that's the difference. You've got to look at the details. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to be a mark. You're going to continue to be a sucker. You're going to continue to get ripped off all your life. How sad is that?
Food, toys, whatever you buy, $4,000 a year that it adds to your family. Now look, this dude's nearly 80 years old. He damn near killed himself getting into a garbage truck.
Very, very close to falling on it. I don't know if he would have killed himself, but he was very close to tasting the pavement, let's just say.
You would think over 80 years you would understand how a tariff works.
Yeah, and getting back to that, right? The no tax on tips thing, like, what does it even matter if you're not paying taxes on tips? If you're paying an extra $4,000 for goods that you need to survive, right? That tariff that he's thinking of putting on, that's not going to be paid by some foreign company somewhere. That's getting paid by you, the consumer. That's going to raise your costs. That is in effect, a national sales tax that Donald Trump wants to put in place in order to make sure that his rich benefactors, they don't have to pay their taxes, right? I think we need more of rich people paying their taxes. I think we need to go back to the tax brackets that you had in the 50s, right? You want to talk about Donald Trump is looking super right wing, super Gilded Age compared to people like Dwight Eisenhower, another Republican.
Smarter people than Donald Trump, which is a good chunk of folks. CEOs of companies like Black & Decker, AutoZone, and Columbia have gone on the record to say if Donald Trump goes forward with this plan, they will simply have to raise prices and pass it on to you. Donald Trump saying China will pay for those tariffs the same way Mexico paid for the wall. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think the Dems use this nearly enough.
So look, some of you in here, and they're in our neighbors, they're our family members, brothers, independents and Republicans. The Republican Party added much to this country over the years. When they talked about freedom, they meant it. That's not who Donald Trump is. Turns out when he talks about freedom, it means the freedom to invade your doctor's office, and freedom to invade your bedroom, freedom to tell you what books to read or what movies to watch. And I keep saying this, and I've now seen this is true across the country. I thought it was just a Minnesota euphemism, that the world works best when people just mind their own damn business. You don't need my help choosing books. You don't need my help choosing who you marry. You don't need my help choosing your doctor and the decisions they make. And you certainly don't want Donald Trump and J.D. Vance to do it. When Kamala Harris and I talk about freedom, we mean the freedom for you, not politicians to make those personal decisions. So look. You saw it at the convention in Chicago. We talked about freedom a lot. We took back freedom. We took back family. We took back the damn flag. Because I'll tell you what, I'll be damned if I'll fly an American flag with some man's picture pasted on it or something. That's not how we do things. And for Pennsylvania, this was just me personally. We got freedom, we got the family, we took back the flag. I took football just because we want to, because we're taking that. Look, Freedom means a lot of things, but it's very personal. Freedom for our seniors to retire with dignity, to collect Social Security and Medicare. That's freedom. Freedom to be able to send your children to school without worrying they'll be shot dead in the hall. That's, and I say this, I'm a 24-year veteran, I am a hunter, and I am a gun owner. Kamala is a gun owner. We know and have always in our lives upheld the Second Amendment. But we also know upholding our first responsibility is the safety of our children. And you can do both. And you can
All right, there we go. So that's Tim Walz's response. We got a lot to cover tonight, though, and I need to get to it. I need to remember it all. God, Anna Kasparian, just making a mess for everybody. Making an absolute mess here. Let's take a look and...
Thomas Jer, super chatted $5.78, is putting the government at work to chase refugees. Small government, fascist troll.
Small government. Small government. That's hilarious. I don't understand why, like, well, okay, I do. It's because libertarians are profoundly unserious people, as shown by Sam Cedar in multiple debates, right? Their ideology is incoherent, and thus they are incoherent. All right, I gotta catch up with so yeah, we're gonna end the short stream. Probably should have already ended it. We're gonna end the short stream, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop watching. If you want to click the Twitch link or the YouTube link, you can join us because we're gonna continue to stream on Twitch and YouTube. We're gonna end the short stream for now, and so if you want to join us on the rest of this, we're gonna be talking about what are we doing. Anna Kasparian, we got a little bit of H3 content to go over. We got Sitch and Adam breaking up, and whose fault is that? Anna Kasparian, just like she's breaking up TYT. Looks like she might also be breaking up Sitch and Adam. How's my sound? Somebody said that the audio is out of sync. Is it out of sync for other people? Slow mode. Is it? Oh. Sorry, I missed that. I can't hear the super chats don't stop me unless they're like $5 or more. Otherwise, I generally just read them in read the donos like after the fact, like a lot of other streamers do. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. But thank you for the super chat. Oh my God, I can't make it work. Sasha G, I'm trying to put it up, but it's there. Wait. There you are. No. There's oh my God. Okay. It's not gonna work. But we're gonna end the stream now. You can join us. Click that link. All right. So like I